There's Mimi LaRose, and let's do the Leo June shadow work reading. I love doing the shadow work readings. I've noticed that these probably get the least amount of views now, but hopefully maybe they'll get more views at some point. Let's get what y'all's main topic is that you're working on this month. Element of fire. Leos, y'all have really been going through it with this, having faith in yourself and with y'all's creative drive. I don't know what's happening, Leos, but there's something going on there. Again, you are working through that passion that you have. You're working through this creative spark that has lit up within you. And let's see what the shadow side of that is. The Magician. This is all about feeling empowered. It's about feeling like you have the resources around you. It's about accepting your power. It's about embracing your power. You got the King of Wands. So this is all about like you confidently feeling like you. You confidently being a Leo, whether that is sun, moon, or rising. Like Leos, you're that girl. You're the one. You're the magician. You can create anything that you desire. So how do we work with this energy? You have wonderful partnerships and communities and love that are here to support you in this. So I think it's really like Leos, we've got to just accept that this energy is for you. This energy is available to you. This is your energy. Let's see what our next card is. Eight of Wands, which is literally just like a manifestation card. Knave of Swords. So this is the Page of Swords. So I think this is a part of kind of getting your thoughts together. I do think that while you feel this spark, while you feel this while you're working through embracing your power, that you're also needing to think this through pretty clearly and not just move, not just make moves to do something, not just be active to be active. I think you need to be really mindful and aware of why you're doing these things, especially as this is probably a pattern for you and you would like to move forward. You do not want to be stuck in this same situation over and over again where you get really excited, where you wake up one morning and you're like, you know what, I can do this. I can do anything that I want in the world. There are these projects, there are these people, there are these goals that I have. I just want to shine. I just want to be a Leo. I want to shine and be in that light. And then you kind of step out and you do it and you make these connections. You feel really great about yourself. You're seeing the progress. You're seeing the movement happen. And then you're just kind of throwing things out there to see what sticks. You want to feel that forward progression. You got the Knight of Wands, and it's again, there's a little you just kind of go. You're not necessarily thinking things through, so being mindful, being careful, but also see, your clarifier for the Knight of Wands was the Three of Swords. What I take from that as a clarifier is that when things don't work out the way you want them to, when you have that Magician card and it's I have all the resources, you're feeling good, you're feeling great, you're oh, we're about to go. And then things don't work out the way you want them to. Maybe you get your heart broken. You got a Two of Chalices to a Three of Swords. That's a ending of a relationship or things just not going the way you had them planned. That you try to force things. You try to force something to move forward. You try to force something to be fixed or to heal. And that is not always the greatest route to go. And the card to work through this energy is the Empress. And the Empress has an innate understanding that she is fertile, that she is literally able to grow anything, to create anything, and I think stepping into that, recognizing that, accepting that as a part of who you are, because the fire in you wants to act. It wants to move. It wants something to change immediately. And the Empress understands that that's a natural part of life that doesn't have to be forced. So when you might be feeling a little stuck or things are moving too slow for you, the wheel is turning, but maybe it's not turning as quickly as you want it to. So you're getting that Eight of Wands energy. You're getting that Knight of Wands energy. Stuff is not working out the way you want them to. The Empress is saying, okay, sit down, maybe take a little bit of time off, Go do something that makes you feel very nurtured, very cared for, something that will calm your nervous system. Maybe just go for a walk, spend some time in nature, whatever it is that calms you down. Go and do some of that, because you're making moves from a space of fear and from a space of heartache, as opposed to from a space of feeling empowered and strong, like the King of Wands that you started out with. We got the Queen of Pentacles, literally like move into a more earthy way of approaching things. Like that fire is great, it gets you up and going, it gets you moving, but that more earthy energy is something that'll be a little bit more stable in how you approach and go forward, especially when you have a decision to make, when this choice comes up. Because anytime you have change, anytime you're working on something new, anytime you're creating, there's going to be options that become available to you. So like you're going to need to have that stabilizing force. So finding a way to balance out that fire and that earth energy. And those aren't necessarily compatible energies, but for one thing, like for fire to be sustained, it needs something to burn. So if you don't have anything to burn, there is no way that the fire will be able to sustain itself. So you need coal, you need wood, you need something. So it's really saying that like you have to dig into what is that thing that sustains you, and then move from that space so that you can be calm and go within when you need to make the choice that will come up for you. And it's really truly looking at like where are you an expert in? Where are you, because your how to work through this energy from Two of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles is the Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, okay, yes, is the Three of Pentacles, which matches up really nicely to the third major arcana card, the Empress. It's a lot of that threes energy, along with that Three of Swords, which is saying that, you know, really looking at how does this partnership work? How does community work? How does my support system work? How do I find that comfort in myself? And what skills do I have that support me in that? And how do I use that expertise to be able to ground myself? Like, how do I become an expert of myself? You know, how do I know myself so well that I can see when I'm starting to kind of go off the edge on things, or like I'm moving so quickly just because I feel that energy of go, that I'm losing, like, what do they call it? What did they say? That you're losing the plot. Like you've lost the plot, right? And then your final one is Queen of Chalices. So we got a Queen of Pentacles, we got a Queen of Chalices, like that emotional maturity, that emotional availability, like it's really like grounding down. So we're going from a very fiery energy to a more stabilized, settled earth, water energy, and getting in touch with those emotions. The Four of Wands, that stability is like the key point to this. And one of the things is that like, even if we just look at the beginning of the year, we look at that Aries energy, and then we look at Taurus energy, and then we look at Gemini, and then Cancer, you know, we're kind of starting over, one of the wheels are turning as we go into June, or as we end June, because we're moving from the fiery energy of springtime to the watery energy of summertime. And that fire is needing to be stabilized. It's coming into the, you know, nurturing, caring energy of Cancer. That's like, let me create a home for you. Let me create a space where you feel safe to kind of do a little bit of that healing work. And you're needing that stability in your life, like leaning towards that. And then your way to work through that is literally the world. Like the world is available to you. Everything that you experience, every piece of your higher self, every piece of your light self, every piece of your conscious self that you experience that is very powerful, that is King of Wands, that is the Magician, that is Eight of Wands, that is Knight of Wands, that is just like the Empress, like that can create literally based off of your will alone. You make a decision that this is something that you want. You have a spark of an idea, of a plan, of something that you feel passionate about, and you just make it happen. Like that is truly who you are. But when you do so from a place that is not secure within yourself, like it's you're running off of fumes as opposed to running off of a very well crafted and designed, like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen people build a fire, right? But like you have to do a whole little system about how you stack up the wood and how you have the dry kindling and then like how you plan to feed it and like are you keeping it safe from the wind so it doesn't blow out? Like there is a whole plan and progress that has to go into place to maintain a fire, and you are needing to put in place that system to maintain your fire. And when you do that, and when you realize that that is actually a space of emotional maturity and availability that allows for those passions to shift, not just from fire and sexual creativity and sexual compatibility. And when I say that, I don't mean that like literally sex, but just like the energy of creation to an emotional stability and emotional availability. And so you go from just like fire and water. Like it's not steam that just bounces off of each other and evaporates. It's really something that's like heating up water so that you can create something new from it. You can make tea, you can cook food, you can sustain yourself and others. You can create a space where you can come together and have something really beautiful. So, and more importantly, as this is a shadow work reading, you can sustain your freaking self. That is what it's saying. Like, this is how you don't get burnt out. This is how you don't, like, start off something really strong and then never follow through and finish it because you've lost all of your motivation. You've lost all of that energy that got you started, but you couldn't maintain it. So it's saying, like, you have to build this system to maintain it through an understanding of connecting to the Empress energy, the Queen of Pentacles energy, the Queen of Pentacles energy, and working with your community. You got the Seven of Air as your outcome card. And the Seven of Air it's really saying that like balance is necessary. Like you really have to balance things out. And I think that's kind of like a great synopsis for your entire reading is that for the month of June, you are learning the art of balance. And while most people might think of the art of balance in a more airy way, which is more meditation or like Libra energy and all that fun stuff, we're talking about the art of balance between fire and earth. How do you sustain your fire? So that's going to be it. That's your shadow work reading for the month of June, Leo. So take some time. Don't burn yourself out. Don't go so hard in the beginning of the month where you ain't got nothing left at the end of the month, because if you can find that balance, if you can step into that Empress energy and combine that Knight of Wands that like gets up and go and hits the ground running with that Empress energy, unstoppable. The world is at your feet. So that's going to be it. All right. Have a great month, y'all. I'll see y'all next month. Bye.